Yeah, please correct this spelling. Digitization spelling, I think, needs to be corrected. This is digitalization.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Vandana, and I am the co-host for today's event. I would like to extend my warm welcome to all of you present here for the today's event, that is live talk show on how digitization has changed the life. So I would like to extend my warm welcome to all present here. Welcome all. Here we are member of three, and here they are.
Thank you, Vandana. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Tandeep Singh Nishavan. I am also the co-host for the event. Currently, I am associated with the SEMS group. I welcome you all on behalf of SEMS in today's event. Welcome you all. Over to you, Ritu.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ritu and I am also the co-host for the event. Welcome all present here. So now moving ahead, as we all welcome you all for today's event on the behalf of SEMS Group. Talking about SEMS, SEMS Welfare Foundation is a non-profit organization working in the field of education, women empowerment, and entrepreneurship, and many more. In SEMS, we have two wings. One is SEMS WAP and second is SEMS Welfare Foundation. SEMS has conducted 6 international conferences in emerging technologies, conducted more than 75 webinars with approx 20,000 participants, conducted more than 10 FDPCs and workshops, published more than 10 ISBN books, published journal IJMTR with ISSN number, have active network around 3,000 plus, provides award to educationists, universities, colleges in more than 54 categories, trained more than 5,000 students in entrepreneurship, digital marketing, IT, and banking courses, placed more than 2,000 students in various banks and IT companies, trained more than 600 inmates in jails of Haryana. So moving on to our today's topic, which is digitalization. Digitalization is the process of converting information into a digital computer readable format. The result is the representation of an object, image, sound, document, or signal, usually an analog signal, by generating a series of numbers that describe a discrete set of points or samples. So to enlighten us on the topic, which is on how digitization has changed the life, we have 5 speakers with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to introduce our first speaker for the talk show, Dr. Rajneesh Agarwal. Dr. Rajneesh Agarwal is the Director of Software Technology Parks of India, STPI, Noida. He is contributing immensely to repositioning of STPI with focus in innovation and dispersal of IT, ESDM industry in the northern part of India. Dr. Agarwal is profoundly contributing for the growth of high-speed data communication services, incubation services, implementation of IBPS and NGIS, and setting up of Center of Entrepreneurship for new and emerging technologies like blockchain, medtech, fintech, ESDM, AI, data analytics across various cities under his jurisdiction. I welcome you, sir, and I request all participants to welcome sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Bhavreen Rekhi. Dr. Bhavreen Rekhi is an expert in the field of digital marketing for 20 years. She is corporate trainer, consultant, and MBA professor in the area of digital marketing and holds PhD in the same. She trains various renowned brands on advanced digital marketing courses and mentors startups under her consultancy, #digital. She has trained more than 101 brands, SMEs, startups, few latest one being Honda, CII, UNWFP. Dr. Rekhi has some valuable national and international publication and has experience in teaching some Harvard modules like career track. She is associated with Google, Piki, and Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Training Board. I welcome you, ma'am, and I request all the participants to welcome ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Yuvika Gupta. Ms. Yuvika Gupta is an assistant professor at School of Management, IMS Unison University. She is an academician with over 12 years of teaching experience. She is MBA and UGC NET qualified and has written research papers in international and national conferences and seminars organized by IIM Indore, Birla Institute of Technology, DY Patil University. Ms. Yuvika has published peer-reviewed research paper in leading management journals indexed in Australian Business Dean Council BNC category, Scopus, Web of Science, and UGC Care. She is also a reviewer for some of the reputed journals published by Amaral, Elsevier, and Wiley. I welcome you, ma'am, and I request all the participants to welcome ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Professor Mona Gulati Puri. Dr. Professor Mona Gulati Puri is social entrepreneur. She has worked for who has raised a ray of hope for the students from underprivileged section of the society. He scouts for talent in the underprivileged section of the society and takes pride in letting it blossom with all the encouragement it deserves. She is running organization Sumit Foundation. She has been passionately engaged in English training to help students from poor families acquire important communication skills for better employment prospects. Dr. Mona is currently leading United Group of Institution, Greater Noida as Chief Executive Officer. She has completed PhD from Kalinga University, Raipur, and MB graduate from Symbiosis Pune in the year 2010 and Bachelor of Commerce from University of Allahabad in 1995. I welcome you, ma'am, and I request all the participants to welcome ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Shadma Parveen. Dr. Shadma Parveen, co-founder of Manatra LLC, United Arab Emirates. She is an academic expert, corporate trainer, and strategic consultant. She has an exhaustively rich experience of more than 15 years on the fields of academic, TNA, corporate training, skill development, and life coaching. Dr. Shadma has been helping multinational organizations to improve the quality of human resource with a vision to unlock potential within each individual. She has authored numerous articles in international books and journals, and several academic papers published by renowned international journals. Recently, ma'am, two papers published in Cambridge and Harvard University and were thoroughly applauded by the organizers and publishers. She has earned many awards and certification in her field. So now I welcome you all, our honorable speakers on the behalf of SEMS Welfare Foundation. So moving on to our today's event, firstly, I want to give some general instruction to all the participants that all the participants have to keep their mic and camera off during the event. If you have any queries in between, you can type it in the chat box or you can write on the comment box. So now, Vandana, you can take the charge.
Thank you, Ritu, for this wonderful introduction. Now, I would like to ask sir and ma'am. Ma'am, could we start the session? Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so ma'am, in the session, we will start with the questioning. So here's my first question to Dr. Bhavleen, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is, how can we improve the mentality of people about the myths on digitization?
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah, so am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you are.
ma'am.
Okay. So, Bandana, when you asked me this question, how can we improve the mentality of people, with respect to digitalization, I would say this is a very pertinent question. Why? Because, I don't see too much of mentality issues happening either in the West or too much in the East also, neither China being a hub of digitalization and United States also being a hub of digitalization have never faced these issues. We face these issues much more than anywhere else for a couple of reasons. Number one, we being a very highly populated country, and the myths that go around are of various natures. The major ones are definitely related to the security issues, and I wouldn't really say that, these are actually myths, because as we have seen that digitalization has increased, so has the frauds, around digitalizations. So this is one of the biggest mental block which I feel in this field is making a lot of people apprehensive about trying digitalization or indulging, deeper into this field. Another myth which is related to digitalization is that, our personal data, would be misused for. Now, I do not deny this. Yes, there are a lot of instances, where personal data has been misused by brands, has been misused by organizations. But what one needs to understand here is that's always not the case. If a consumer is well aware of his rights, is well aware of the technology that he is using, there are a lot of ways, in which we can prevent this. Around e-commerce, since because e-commerce is also one of the major wings of digitalization, and because of the pandemics and the lockdowns, the e-commerce is the only sector which has actually seen a very, very big boost. There were a lot of myths like, how can I purchase something, without touching it and without smelling it, etc. But because of the pandemics and the lockdowns, I see that naturally the mindset of people towards that has improved, because there was no other option left, retail was shut, etc. So this has slowly pushed people towards digitalization. And today, very surprisingly, people, are actually expressing a lot of interest and a lot of faith into the digital systems, thanks to the pandemic and the lockdowns. And also because India, it has more than 560 million people using internet, which is more than the population of a lot of countries of the world. So I think that these myths will slowly go away, but the major thing that we have to do is to work on the security part, the privacy part, because these are the major mental blocks which I feel are still capturing the minds of the people, and still they're apprehensive about digitalization. And moreover, talking from the organization's perspective, digitalization is a pretty expensive process when you talk of the transformation stage from traditional business models to digital business models. So because it is a pretty expensive process, we may be lacking certain resources, because of which most of the corporates, even if they are trying for digital transformations, have not been able to achieve it. But with the way, e-commerce models have shown success during the lockdowns and during the pandemics and all, I'm sure this field is going to flourish. And as it is going to flourish, as the frauds reduce, as the awareness increases, I'm sure these myths are gonna fall in place, today or tomorrow for sure. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question is, hello, yeah, is digitization is good for environment and also for living beings?
Okay, Vandana, yeah, this is my favorite question, because there's a lot of debate around this, if it is good for environment or it is not good for environment. And then all of a sudden we have this young, activist Greta Thunberg coming into the picture, mobilizing larger sections of the society, Definitely, being from the field of digital marketing, I would say yes, it is very good for the environment. Now, couple of things I want to say here to prove my point is, for example, because of digitalization, we have so many technologies which have either come up or are lined up for the near future, which reduces the emissions into the environment. So, for example, if we talk of electric cars or automatic cars, self-driven cars, smart cars, so these are the technologies which will reduce the harmful pollutants into the environment, thereby somewhere helping the environment. Now we also know that, organizations like Amazon and all, they are talking about drone deliveries now, which has already started in certain parts of the world. Okay, now drone deliveries again is a kind of technology, which can help the environment in lot of ways. Not only that, with digitalization, we have ample data, and if we study this data, like properly, we can chalk out the consumption patterns of fuels in such a way that our future generations can also have access to the non-renewable resources that we have today. It's just a matter of data analytics, I mean, studying the data and capturing it in such a way that you can foresee the consumption and plan it accordingly, that you are able to follow the sustainable business models. Now, talking of technologies like IoT, Internet of Things, now these are the technologies, which help you to control electronic devices even from remote locations, so that, you can save electricity, they are not getting into waste, etc. Now, with technologies like augmented reality, the lot of resources, which used to go into making prototypes of products, which ultimately used to be a waste. Now, this is not required. You don't require so many prototypes, because with the technologies like augmented reality, without prototypes also, you can help the customer, kind of feel that, how this product is going to be suitable for them. And social media, we cannot overlook the part of social media, which is also part of a digital model, helps to create awareness about environment, the kind of awarenesses, that these small campaigns, Greta Thunberg, for example, use the social media to create such a huge, campaign all over the world, so these are certain technologies which I think are very beneficial for the environment. So if you ask my opinion on this, yes, definitely it is going to help environment in the long run. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. These are very knowledgeable. Okay, so my next question is to Dr. Praona Gulati, ma'am. Okay, hello. Yeah, ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, Vandana, I'm very much there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so ma'am, my first question is digitization really the answer to this pandemic era to bridge education system and students?
Vandana, I think so. Your question is itself answerable. Like we can have a mini debate on this particular statement itself. And I would
Yes,
like to
ma'am.
know from everybody that is there any other way out? So if it is like, is it the answer to this pandemic to bridge? We were left with no other option. If we consider our country or look down the line, so we are coming from that country, so you're born in that country where the concept of Gurukul, face-to-face teaching, in-class teaching, the children are, students are in front of the teachers, or you can say the classroom teaching was also there, is also there. Gurukul might have been done, but yes, classroom
Yeah.
teaching is the concept
Yeah.
of Indian culture. There is some echo. I don't understand why is it.
Okay, I would request Bhavleen ma'am, could you please
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
unmute
is
yourself?
echo, and I think somebody has working on two devices together. Okay, so one device is catching the sound of another device. I think everyone ensure that they are working only on one device, because this
Yeah, I think
echo
so.
is very
Agrawal
disturbing.
sir is right. There are two devices running in one room. That is why the echo is there. So let's continue with it. So I was just talking the country we belong to. We had a Gurukul system or in classroom training. The teacher means ki bacha, the student has to go to the class, chalkboard, everything was there. But in higher education, do students were into online, and as well as the concept was that when you are working, then you can do some executive course on online course that was acceptable. But this pandemic, it left us with no other option. So we cannot say, is it this the really the answer to this pandemic, the digitization or something? It is said na jab kuch nahi, then we have to do it. We were not ready with it till date. I am heading the institute. I know that till date there are many teachers or many students also, they are not accepting this concept of digitization in teacher training, or you can say the education purpose. And especially our education system is like junior, medium, then higher secondary, or these kind. We can say ki higher education we can go for it, but in junior level the students are facing real problem, but we don't have any other option. The nursery teachers are also now stuck with this laptop. They have to go with the online teaching. The students of class nursery 1 and 5, those students who used to look forward to meet their friends in the school, they are stuck up in the house with the laptop in one corner, and they have to do it. So the answer itself is there, that we have to. It's there, no any other option. But as an educationist or as a mother also, I don't think so for junior classes this is very much good, because it affects the mental health also. But our children, they are born with a black mobile phone in hand. We are said that this is that era, that all the bachas, they are born with a mobile phone. They are seeing technology around, they are seeing digital world around, no matter it's a smartphone or a smart TV, everything, it's like working AI model, everything is there. As Dr. Bhavleen also said, that we are working in a remote, everything is on remote. So the children are there, but the concept of education still is into classroom training. But when we don't have any other option, so we have to go for that, so that this long, we can say 1.5 years, we were not prepared, or it's going to be 2 now also. And there are few researchers going on that it can be extended, because there's a third wave 2 going to, which we are keeping the fingers crossed, but still. So we cannot leave the things. We have to find ways and means. And I tell you that human mind is very flexible, adaptable, and kahin na kahin we find out the ways. So we have to do it, and we are still doing it. But the other way around is connection to bana hi bana. The teacher are still connected, no matter it's through WhatsApp or through Zoom or Masterclass or MS Teams. There are various methods. Online education, online portals are all over the net. But there are the negative part also to it. If it is positive, and if not quoted, I would just like to share it in few lines, if you allow me, that an emotional attachment is also there. बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं एक नई इबारत बिना इमारत. The imarat is a school. They are not going to the school, but still बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं. बच्चे अब बस्ता नहीं उठाते, ना किताब, ना कॉपी में कवर लगाते, ना अपने जूते चमकाते. माएं अब टिफिन नहीं लगाती, ना झुंझोड़ कर उन्हें उठाती. छूट गई किसी चीज के खातिर, ना बस तक दौड़ लगाती. बच्चे फिर भी पढ़ रहे हैं, बिना इमारत, बिना इबारत. बच्चे अब नहीं मिलते बच्चों से, and that is the major disadvantage what we are having through digitization or digitalization. बच्चे अब मिलते नहीं बच्चों से, उनके किस्से खत्म हो गए हैं, गुम हो गई है उनकी आवाजें. बच्चे अब नहीं शोर मचाते, सुबह उठते ही अपने में रहते, घर के एक कोने में दुबके लैपटॉप को स्कूल बनाते. बिना शरारत, बिना हरारत, हर विषय को सुनते सुनाते. आपस में बिना गुफ्तगू बच्चे खुद संग रम जाते. बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं एक नई इबारत बिना इमारत, बिना शरारत, खुद से खुद को गढ़ रहे हैं. That's it. I have to say in that, in the education. Over to you.
Thank you so
Vandana.
much, ma'am. This is very enlightening, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, my next question is, how should we live and survive the current situation with the help of digitization?
I think so. Survival for the best and the fittest, what we are doing. We find out the ways in education, as well as Dr. Bhavleen said, in e-commerce also. And if we consider like banking system, earlier we had bigger notes, then it made smaller notes, then it came the card. No matter there is a problem, the elder generation, I should say, that my father still finds that net banking is not that easy. But I am very much into net banking. I have not visited the bank. So there is a survival, and transformation does take time. Acceptance does take time, because you have to trust. We started from micro frame computers. I believe that was such a big, huge room size. Now everything comes in a mobile phone, a smartphone. All the digital are, the Prime Minister has done all the digital certificates, our education certificates. The system of digitization is such a good one now that no fraud can be done. Earlier, what used to happen that I'm talking about because I'm into education, what we faced, a student used to take admission in 3 or 4 institutes or streams, koi kahin se and kahin se, and later on when we used to figure out, it was a bit problematic thing. Now what the digitization has done, there is an SRM code or something when you start from class 1 or 5 itself, or 8 tak aate you have an Aadhaar card. So you cannot cheat that also. If you are enrolled in PhD or if you're enrolled in masters, so you can do one course only over there at that particular time. So there are many good things regarding that. But yes, transition period does take time. Acceptance does take time. And apne aap, I think so, the ball goes rolling down. And when we'll cross this stage, like if I call upon my son, he is more sorted in this manner. He doesn't know whether the survival and digitization. Why? Because he was born in a digitized world. Whenever he saw or started earning, he had a credit card in hand, and everything was online. Everything was a click away. No matter, we found in pandemic to how to purchase thing, and Amazon came in support to us, or Amazon Fresh also. Getting groceries and grocers came. But for these students coming up who are living, I should not say that, but living in Gurgaon, they feel that everything is just a click away. So it's not current situation. Current situation is only for us, who I feel that is a sandwich to the elder generation and the coming one. The coming one got the next generation, or the generation Z, what it's called. They got everything payment done in the bank online, and the bank was on the mobile phone. Their groceries were on the mobile phone, and they are, I think so, too much dependent upon digitization. They don't have to accept it. They are becoming dependent upon them. So I think so they will be better survivors rather than us. We only have that myths ki this fraud or the credit card will be sealed or this will be cheated. They have all security systems. They have OTP systems. They are well acquainted with this. So I don't think so they will find any problem in the survival. It's only in over here, the moment we accept it. And as far as the psychology says, that half of the problem is sorted once you accept it. So we accepted that, yes, this is the future, and this is how our country could make a leap change globalization. That was a biggest leap. Well, our Prime Minister 2015, he joined. And now what is the condition? I'm not promoting any political war, but still, if you just think, have a good vision regarding India. Now my cousins over there abroad, they feel elevated. They feel proud to say that, yes, we are Indians. We are no more the country of snake charmers, but we are country of Modi. And we have done so much in this 5 years or 10 years down the line. So it is nothing digitization. It's a need of the hour. Many things are sorted, and this is the future of the whole globe. It took time for us down at the new NEP. It will take time of acceptance, how they are going to do it, how they are going to implement it, because there is a drastic change. There's a gap in our country. The richer is rich and the poorer is poor. So this gap becomes a major problem area in any issue, no matter we are talking about digitization or education or literacy. So the moment you people also, I was just, when you were talking about SEMS, you people also are doing such a wonderful job of bridging this gap. So the youth has come forward and trying still. I was in the session in the morning also. Ritu was chasing me since yesterday. I was in the session. So these gaps, and when the youth has taken this baton in the hand, I think so. The sky is the limit for our country. Thank you, Vandana.
Thank you, ma'am. This is very enlightening, ma'am. And I hope this will help us in future also to accept the things that how everything is going on. Okay, so now moving ahead, my next question is to Miss Yuvika Gupta, ma'am. Okay, so ma'am, my question is, how can we promote awareness on digitization?
Vandana, I think again this question is something which has already been answered by Dr. Bhavleen and Dr. Mona, and we don't need to create awareness now. We are in a scenario, we are in a situation where everybody of us is aware about digitalization. Just we need to tell them a bit more about it. We just need to create more information that we can do the way you people are doing. We can do the seminars, we can do the conferences, and provide more information to the people how they can work onto it. As said by two speakers, that nowadays digitalization is again everything. When we talk about whether banking or education, it is taking online. So we just need to teach the people that you are nowhere being cheated. If you are doing any credit card or debit card transaction, your password is safe, your OTP is there, nobody is trying to cheat you. We need to educate a specific sector. Let me talk about our adults, the senior people, because that is the one category which is not very friendly. When we are talking about generation Z, generation Y, they are very friendly, they are using these technology very frequently, but we need to train these people. We need to train the handicapped people so that they can also, it can also become a source of earning for them. That could again help in that economic development as well as the development of an individual. Then again, we just need to provide them the sessions, the learning lectures, so that they can learn from it. Awareness is already there. They are aware about the digital media. They are using different social networks. They are using WhatsApp. They are using Facebook. So awareness is not something we need to create. We just need to provide more information, more informative advertisement, more informative lectures need to be delivered.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so ma'am, I think like this awareness is also done by digitally only nowadays.
Yes. We are doing all these things digitally only. See,
Yes,
if I'm
ma'am.
saying that Digital India campaign is being run by the government, now they promoted it onto the television. That is again a digital media only. We are asking the people to get vaccinated. The government is promoting it and showing the advertisement onto the TV. They are sending the messages onto our mobile phones. That is again what? That is again digitalization only. So we are promoting digitalization with the help of digitalization only.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question is like, will the digitization project cause disruption for visitors?
For visitors, I hope you are talking about the people who are using digital mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No, this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
not a disruption for them. This is in making their working more convenient. They are getting the things done in a more easy way. It is just again said by Dr. Mona, it is just a click away. We just need to click and we get our services being done. If I need to do any payment, I just need to click and the transaction is being done, whether it is midnight or it is early morning. 24/7 we are working, and 24/7 the service provider is working. So I don't think that there is any disruption for the visitors. Yes, technology brings certain disruptions, but again, it has been very nicely explained by Dr. Bhavleen that this technology is not disrupting in a way, but it is making our life more easy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. This is very enlightening, ma'am. Okay, so my
Thank you,
next
dear.
question is to Dr. Rajneesh Agarwal, sir. Okay, sir, so my question is how we can try to move ourselves out of misuse or excessive use of digitalization.
Sorry, let me put on my mic. Yeah. Good evening to everyone. I have so far heard three speakers, and they have told very nicely about this digitalization. And now my question is, now it is clear that everyone is now using digitalization as part of their life. Okay, so now question is the misuse or excessive use of the digitalization. Here I would like to mention, and I will start from the beginning, that the technique of digitization, there are two words. One is the digitization and the other is the digitalization. Okay, the technique of digitization was created long back just to make a system or to understand the things easily. And in that technique, we were able to convert our analog kind of things like pictures, like videos, like text into digital kind of thing, which in the beginning, I think Vanna has also mentioned about digitization. And digitalization is the process in which this digitization is used for business purposes. Okay, so this is the something which now we are using, or we are in an era where we do not know how our things are getting converted into digitization, and we are doing digitalization without knowing what is happening in the background. Okay, so this is the one thing. And this digitalization is not you can say just a one tool. It is a pool of it is a numerous tools which are working together for this digitalization. And now when we talk about say some e-commerce site, or say we can talk about some social media site, so then we know ki at the background, in the foreground, we are just putting our input, we are getting our output just without any you can say understanding what is happening in the background. But in the background, number of tools are working together. And here the question arises, how much we can, what is your question, Vanna? I just forgot the question. Please repeat the question.
Yes, sir. So the question is how we can move ourselves out of misuse of or excessive use of digitalization.
Yeah, so this is the thing. So where we, so now it is very clear that as I think Dr. Mona has narrated in his poem very nicely, that बच्चे लोग आपस में मिल नहीं रहे हैं, they are just sitting in a corner on with a laptop and all those things. So actually we know that all technologies have some pros and some disadvantages also. And with this digitalization, we see this disadvantages more than the advantages if we are not using it properly. If we are using it properly in a, you can say, nice way, in a organized way, then as such, there is no need to say this ki, what is the misuse of digitalization, or how can we restrict ourselves to use digitalization. In fact, this digitalization has made our life very easy, very simple. And as in this pandemic situation, everyone has seen the benefit of this digitalization. I have numerous examples where earlier people used to shy away from the digitalization or online kind of transactions. And now they are using those transactions without any kind of hitch or glitches, and they are using this Paytm and other things. I'm talking about the old people, the people, senior citizen kind of people at the age of 75 or above. So in this manner, this digitalization has enabled us to do things in a more, you can say, effective and efficient manner, rather than shying away or telling that we will not use digitization. Again, I am coming back to the main question. Uh, uh, as such, because as I have told that there are many tools are working in the background. So therefore, we are offering many kind of loopholes in the background where excessive use of this digitalization will open gate for hackers to hack the system, or the other people, they may try to cheat you through this technique also. And as you know always that there is, if there is a thief, then there is a police also. So similarly, we have our cyber, if there are cyber criminals, then we have cyber police also. And it is also very known fact that thieves always runs one step ahead of the police. Otherwise, there will be no thief in the society. Okay. Thief thinks one step ahead the police, then police have to find the way how to catch the thief and to remove that particular kind of lacuna in our system. So therefore, this excessive use of digitalization, I will never say will create any kind of, or we should not, we should restrict ourselves with using this digitalization, that it may harm to us, or its excessive use may harm to us. But its its planned use is always useful. Otherwise, as our two earlier speakers have also mentioned, with regard to education, that children's they are using the laptop or mobile, and they have become very, you can say, savvy of all these devices. And but instead of along with their tuitions or their tutorials, they are also doing many more things which are not desired to be done by them. So at this point of such kind of situation, we will say that we should keep a watch on our children. They should use this digitalization technique in a useful manner, in a advantageous manner. Similarly, we are also wasting so much time on social media sites instead of doing some creative work. Okay, I will not say that in social media all work is non-creative. There is too much work which we can say is a creative work. But if we see that since morning to evening we are receiving messages on WhatsApp, and those are just forwards. And whenever WhatsApp give a alarm, we divert our focus and we see the message, though it is just useless message. So in this manner, we have to have some kind of discipline with us, so that we can protect ourselves from the misuse or excessive use of this digitalization. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. This is very knowledgeable, and I think this is the answer of many parents also. So, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so my next question is to Dr. Shadma, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, my question is, do you think that digitalization affect growth of students or children's as their future of India?
Okay. Very good evening to everyone over here. And yes, that's a very important question, we can say, and a very important concern, not only of the parents, but the teachers and the entire society right now, not only in India, but across the globe. So I would say that, yes, digitalization has actually posed a very, you can say, a big challenge for the countries, for the industries, especially for the education industry. But the degree of challenge that the education industry has faced, or the student has faced, somewhere it was because of the traditional approaches that we have been, using in India. So, like for example, I have been here in UAE into the education industry for last 6 years now. So the things that I have seen that people in India and basically the educationalists in India, they are still struggling for. They have been doing it for last many years. These online classes and all. So having a proper system of education and providing everything online across the borders. So we can say that yes, it came as a shock. This pandemic came as a shock to many of the nations and many of the industries. And when we talk about digitalization or digitization, it is actually the boom of digitalization came into existence because of this pandemic, to be very honest, or honestly speaking. It was growing, but it actually took that pace, took that altitude because of the pandemic or the situation that have been created. Education industry is one of the industry which has been highly impacted by it and benefited also. This is what I believe, being a part of it. And when we talk about the students, we cannot say that it actually imparts the growth of the students or promotes the growth of the students. We have to look at it from a holistic point of view. So once we have, I personally believe that if properly taken, this pandemic or this digitalization has actually, especially digitization, has actually provided ample opportunities for the students. Earlier, you can't think of taking up a course of a US university sitting very well in your home, in your cozy environment in India, and taking up the course and just paying for the academic fees. Because you have to go there, you have to take the visa, you have to reside there, accommodation charges, cost of living, everything you have to plan, right? So it is actually an opportunity for the students if they take it nicely and wisely. So it provides more options to the students. Simultaneously, you can get into so many things. There are so many, you name a university, you name a course, and it is available online. This is a very big blessing, I would say, for the students if they take it nicely and wisely. There is more and more information available. I still remember when we used to be in school, right? The only source of information for us used to be books. You have to buy books, you have to go to the library, you have a specific one library class where you can try to get into as many books as you want, or you can get the book issued and you have to read it. Now, every information, if you really want to learn, it's just a click away. You have multiple medium also. You have reports, you have blogs, you have books, you have videos, everything, different modes of different options, different sources of information is there if the student want to learn. And this actually adds on a lot to their knowledge, to the body of knowledge that they have. Different ways of learning is there. We have live classes going on. We have instructor-led programs which are live. We also have pre-recorded courses. We have self-paced courses. I myself, because of my busy schedule, I cannot take up many international courses regularly, right? Live classes. So I have taken so many courses from SAP recently in last 1 year. They were all self-paced courses, and like they were tremendously good. So these kind of opportunities, if you really want to learn, if you really want to grow, these are available, and this is actually came into existence because of this digitalization. Then the more innovative ideas are coming up, because now you have so many things to look forward. If nowadays the students have to make a project, they just don't put up their brains. This is to some extent bad also, because this is somewhere like influencing their creativity, but also it helps them to understand and to see what exactly others are doing, what could be the different ways of doing the same kind of project or the same kind of work or task. Then there has been many platforms which are giving employability or jobs, especially for freelancers, especially, which is actually a big sector when we talk about especially IT professionals in India. Many people are working on projects, international projects, and they're getting paid for it. So these kind of mediums have been created only because of this digitalization. Digitization, no doubt, it's very good for students because actually it is preparing future technological leaders. We all know, we cannot deny this fact that the future lies in data, future lies in analytics, and future lies in things like augmented reality, this virtual reality, artificial intelligence, analytics. So all the organizations, they already have so much of data now. The question is, what should I do with the data? So the future lies in technology and analytics. We cannot deny this fact. So digitization in that sense, in that very sense, it's actually preparing people for future. It is actually preparing future technological leaders, which is actually very good also, because sooner our youth, our students, they accept this and they start preparing for this, it's better for them. In many sectors, you can see that artificial intelligence is still in a very nascent phase, very starting phase, it's just a starting. For example, if you talk about HR, so artificial intelligence in HR is still on a very starting phase. So the sooner you get into it, the more expertise you can develop, the more, you can say the vision you have for future, it's better for you to develop yourself and to be more competent in future. So, well, in that sense, I think it's very good for students, and it because it opens up an ample uh, array of opportunities for students if they really want to take it. But at the same time, it has certain negative impact also on the growth. As we all know, the first thing is the health issues. Because when we talk about students, young students, when we talk about youth, it is actually the phase where they're growing, their age where they are growing. There are so many changes taking place in their body. There are so many changes taking place in terms of their hormones. So the kind of things they have, the kind of thought process they have, the kind of mindset they are developing, it is actually going to decide where they will be in future. So when we want to understand the impact of this technology or digitalization on students, we actually have to segregate our focus. When we are talking about the students which are mature to understand how exactly technology and this digital world has to be used, it is actually a boom for them. It is actually a blessing for them. But at the same time, if we talk about little ones, like for example, my daughter, she is in grade 3, right? So grade 2, she actually went through this online learning and all. So it was a big challenge for them also. And I believe that it is like we have been, exposing these young minds too early to the technology. But at the same time, because the sooner they are exposed to technology, the more dependent they will develop. This is actually the addiction of technology, and we all know that. So it's very important when we are talking about young children specifically, it's very important to check how they are using it, how they are how this particular thing is impacting their mindset. Of late, I have seen the YouTube channels, the people on YouTube, they have like grown up like mushrooms, isn't it? So it's very important that what message we are communicating. I'm not saying this is personal choice of parents and for children also, but I've seen that many small children, they are just doing some funny things. They're just creating some videos just for the entertainment. And just the idea that message that we are communicating to them is just, you just have to grab the views. Or it is a method of making money. If you get this much of subscriber, this much of views, right? Watch hours, then you get paid for it. So it may be okay, it may be a fun activity for them for time being, but we need to understand what hidden message we are communicating to them. We are communicating to them that tomorrow you don't have to work hard for something to earn money or to earn a good name in the society. If you want to be popular, all you just need to do is to have more views of your videos and to have more traffic on your website. Now we need to understand how this is going to impact them in long run. They are their minds are not mature enough to understand how it can act as an addiction for them, and later on the withdrawal will be very difficult. Later on, we have seen the withdrawal symptom of these gamings and addiction to these games and all. So it's very important to understand how exactly we cannot have a generalized statement that the impact of digitalization is good for students or bad. It actually depends upon the perspective from where we are looking at. It actually depends upon who we are talking about. What is the age group we are talking about? You talk about MBA students, you talk about engineering students, it's a blessing, I tell them. You name a university, you take up a course, there are so many courses you can take up. If you want to grow, there is no end, there is no limit for that. But yes, if we are talking about young ones, we have to be very, very particular about it, how it is actually impacting their growth. There are many applications which are very good, many brain games which are very good, many applications, many software which are very good for the development of children. So it's up to us, because they are very young. It's up to us to decide how to protect them from to getting vulnerable. Because we have seen the things like cyberbullying, anxiety kind of thing, right? These are also the gifts of digitalization. These are also gifts of digitization to our society. One more thing that I think which digitization is impacting is interpersonal communication, because our children, and especially the young ones, not only young ones, but I've seen in many times in older people also, in senior people also, they are so much into the social network or social websites that they hardly get time to interact with people around. We hardly get time to interact with people around. There is a difference while talking to someone or chatting with someone. through the video call or through SMS and talking face to face. There are so many things that we learn: body language, eye contact, right? There are so many things that we learn when we talk, when we interact with people in person. So these kind of things, I believe that social communication skills, basically, they are in a jeopardy because of this technical or technological overuse, which we need to check. Because this cannot be, this technology cannot take over entirely the face-to-face communication. There's a beauty in face-to-face communication. There is so many things that we learn. We get good vibes from people when we talk to, and at times we feel that we have been talking to someone online, but when we come face to face, we feel hesitant. We don't feel that much comfortable talking to that person, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely, ma'am.
yeah, so it's actually very important to make sure that this one-to-one interaction, which is nowadays even missing among the family members. So you will find parents coming back from work and they are busy on their phone, and the children, they are busy on their iPads, and some are busy on the television, and we say we are a family. So there should be some limitation to this, and that should come from the adults to the children only, because that cannot be, sensitized to the children unless and until we do not practice that. So we need to understand how exactly it's making our children more vulnerable, and we have to protect them, especially the youth, the young generation, and the children, the small children. They are very prone to fake things. They are very prone to fake news. They are very prone to any kinds of frauds on internet, and these kind of things on internet, they because there are so many kind of people, many profiles are fake also. So it gave rise to many curses also, like sexualizing, fake information, frauds, thefts through the internet. So it's very important for us to understand that whom we are talking about and what exactly should be the optimum use and the right use of technology for them. So if we talk about grown-up students, it's actually a very good blessing if they are able to take proper advantage of it. So that's
Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the thing is, student have to be selective in their choices, and like adult also like need to see that what they are doing, because children are learning from them also. So that's the
and
thing,
not
ma'am.
all social platforms are bad. It's up to you, like what is the purpose of your spending time on social platform. You talk about LinkedIn, you can get so much of information from them. You talk about
Yes, ma'am.
different educational blogs, you get so much of information from them. Everything is free. It's up to us what we are taking from the free. That is important.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, my next question is, yes, yeah. What's the future of digital progress after the pandemic?
Whether the pandemic will remain here or is it going to be over, we cannot say when it's going to be over, but definitely this digital progress or digitalization is not going to be over. In primitive time, when man has not tasted salt, it was eating food raw without salt. But once the man has tasted salt, now we cannot eat a food without salt. The same is with this technological advancements. Once we have sensed that, okay, the things could also be done like this. Like, for example, we are having the session right now. Earlier, whenever we
Yeah,
used to be
yes,
have
ma'am.
the panel discussions, it used to be in one particular auditorium with all the panel members invited over there and the audience sitting over there, and this is how it used to be. So now we have seen that, okay, this kind of thing can also happen, that we are sitting in altogether different countries and we are at one platform and we are sharing our views and ideas. So once the things have taken place, it cannot be reversed. So when we talk about digitalization, it's never going to be back to normal. Never going to be. The change has already taken place, not just going to be just take off from here on. So digitalization is going to remain. Organizations already have been into digitalization. The change already happened. The organizations are changing. They're changing their processes. They are changing their uh, people. They are also upgrading their skills, software, technology, everything. So this digitalization is going to remain and it's going to progress. Now the catch here is to understand how exactly it is going to impact our life and also the life of the next generation who are going to start their career, basically. So as we all know that with the digitalization, the first thing, see, we have to project ourselves and we have to imagine ourselves 7 to 10 years from now, if we really want to see what exactly the impact of digitalization will be on our lives, and especially in the job market. So there will be certain clerical jobs, definitely, and the middle level job, they will be they're going to vanish the way the technology is growing up. I'm not sure whether you people have heard it or not, but here there has been one big retail outlet that has been opened without any man. It's a manless retail outlet. Okay, so these kind of changes are taking place. Just automated cashing machine, automatic dispensing machine. It is actually resulting into the loss of job of clerical staff, the lower level staff, and the middle level staff. So the future lies into the expertise. The future lies into technical knowledge. The future lies into managerial skills. So it's important for the youth today to understand that what we should do so that we will be competent not only in present time, but we should be competent in future. You talk about technology. It has a very you can say small life cycle. The life cycle of technology, the by the time you are done understanding one technology, you will become available. This is actually we have heard about this analytical tool Tableau, and now we have Power BI. So just by when actually a new thing comes, the older thing or the previous thing actually starts becoming obsolete. So it's very important to understand that what nature of jobs will be there in future. The future lies into AI. The future lies into biochemistry. The future lies into robotics, automation. It lies into deep learning. It lies into AI. It lies into virtual reality. It lies into automation. So we have to prepare ourselves in such a way, especially the people who are starting their career or who are in the initial stages of their career. They have to be very careful while choosing up their streams and choosing up the courses that they will take up. So you have to be futuristic. You should know that the future lies in creativity. It lies in intuition. It lies in imagination. It lies in emotion and ethics. The future lies in cybersecurity. What could be the future that where exactly you can think of excelling? So future doesn't lie in the generic skills. It is the phase of specialization. The more specialized you are, the better will be your employability, or the better will be your command in the market. That is what it is. So, and there's one World Economic Forum report which says that 30% of the jobs which were there in 2020, 30% of the jobs actually do not exist now, just because of the automation. And McKinsey, as per the McKinsey report, in next 1 or 2 years, 45% of the jobs which are existing right now, they will be vanished. So we should not be into that area which is highly vulnerable. So in future, the technology, the digitalization is going to progress. In fact, new and new things are going to come up. It's up to us that we need to decide that what things which can easily be automated, do not get into that. And the things which cannot be automated, the value will rise, the value will increase. So we have to have a vision of 7 to 10 years from now, and we have to see that where we want to actually project ourselves. Because when we talk about technology-based organizations, there is one thing very peculiar about these organizations, which is always a blessing of digitalization and digitization, is that they are exponential in their growth. You will find these kind of organizations having very less number of employees, but very high turnover. I guess I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but I think this WhatsApp was having only 55 or something employees and was sold out at 55 billion or something like that. So just imagine what is the per employee value. So they always have less employees which are highly tech savvy, but these organizations are growing exponentially. So if you have that core, if you have that particular skill, your employability will be high, your negotiation power will be high, because we are in the knowledge economy now. Even the industries where earlier more and more mechanical works used to be done, now the things are getting automated there also. So we have been a part of knowledge economy now and knowledge industry, and this is how it's going to be in future as well. So digitalization is not going anywhere. It's going to progress. There are certain jobs which will be vanished. So we need to understand where exactly we want to project ourselves. That is what is important.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. This is very knowledgeable, and I think the thing is, this digitalization will be regular in the future. Like this online webinars and online studying will be regular.
Obviously,
Okay, ma'am.
you talk about institutes and universities and schools. They have seen that yes, this could be one of the stream of revenue generation.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
apart from our in-person courses, we will also be running online courses.
Yes,
So this is going
ma'am.
to
Thank you so much, ma'am.
most.
Okay, so from now onwards, I would request Tarandeep to take over.
Thank you, Vanna. So, good evening, everyone. So, my first question is to Dr. Bhavleen, ma'am. So, ma'am, what was the greatest challenge or factor that become a hindrance in digitization? Ma'am, actually, you are on mute.
Yeah, okay. So, there are a lot of hindrances actually, and I wouldn't even say that these challenges or these hindrances are over. I do agree, and I also said previously, yes, the pandemic has definitely given push to this sector, but that does not mean that these hindrances have gone away. Now, if you ask me, I would probably divide these hindrances into a couple of categories. Number one would be privacy. So, as a customer, what stops you to believe in a digitalized, business model is the privacy of the data and how will my data be used. So, that is number one. Okay. So, second is autonomy. What when I say autonomy, what I really mean is that some organizations, for example, if I take who have been like very very fast and very equipped with digital transformations, for example, if I take the example of Tata, one of the only organizations in the country probably which claimed few years ago that its digital transformation process is almost over. So, for these organizations to have an autonomy, over the system, it's like a hegemony that they have, because with the strength that they have in their digital systems, they are able to influence the other industrial and the social sectors of the society. So this definitely is a hindrance for the upcoming startups and all, to compete with them because there's a digital hegemony that we look at. Third is definitely security. There is nobody, who can deny the fact that digitalization does impose certain level of threats on our security. To add on to this, just leaving the business models and the economics aside, if we talk about if everybody remembers the blue whale, that had come as such a big global threat to the kids, and there were so many kids who were committing suicide because they got psychologically trapped into something which is nothing more than a breach of security, and it hampers the psychology of the children in such a way that they cannot even reach out to their parents to discuss this problem. Rather, they consider committing a suicide as a more legit and a feasible option. So these things have already increased the fear of security issues into the minds of the people, apart from the already existing security issues. We also come across various news that someone's fraudulently money was transferred here and there. Now there is a very big industry which is operating in the background, and which is leading to all these security breaches. Then I would say is human dignity. Now when we talk of digitalization, we cannot overlook things like trolling and all. Sometimes this trolling and all which happens on social media has been so brutal, it has been so brutal that people have taken very very extreme steps. So this, yes, dignity is sometimes, not sometimes, it's a very common phenomenon, particularly if we talk of two industries, which is Bollywood and the politics. It is really at stake, human dignity. Then I would say that the fifth category would be justice. For example, if I have a bad experience with the brand as a consumer, today it is a trend to misuse social media for putting all sorts of reviews. Okay, so in some cases, yes, these reviews are genuine, and they also help the customer to get, you know, benefit out of it, to get justice for the inconvenience, that he or she would have faced. But what about certain cases, which were highlighted in the real past, like the Zomato case, in which the person who basically lost his job was not actually at fault. It was the customer who was at fault. But because customer had a bigger access to social networks, initially pretended and also one to an extent to be a victim, though later when interrogations and things happen. But then we have to understand that not every grievance will get a kind of attention and interrogation like the way the Zomato case got. So lot of cases there, the justice is also denied, or justice is given to the wrong person. And the sixth category, I would say, which is a big hindrance, is balance of power. So, if you have more followers, you have more people listening to your voice. If you have less followers, you have less people listening to your voice. So today my power is not my intellect, it is not my credibility in the society, it is something which is more virtual in nature. So these definitely are a few hindrances which leads to a very big problem of digital hegemony, wherein a society like us, which is very diverse in terms of cultures, is very diverse in terms of age brackets, and also is very diverse in terms of income groups, is really finding it very difficult to cope up with.
Thank you, ma'am. So my next question is to Dr. Mona, ma'am. So, ma'am, there's a question like, what should a student, opt after BCom to go in a line of digital marketing? So,
Currently, digital marketing, I think so, is the in thing we can say. And everybody, every sector, no matter it's an education or Bollywood or anything, like Dr. Bhavleen said that it can be politics too. Any sector, they are all dependent upon digital marketing right now. But as education, we had under our group only, in the United group, we had started long time back, class, but the first year we are dealing into B.Tech students, and first year onwards, we were giving this platform to them. No matter you're talking about just BCom, these things now have started at a very younger stage. Blog writing, content writing, and as it says, everything has a pros and cons to it. It can be negative, it can be positive, but yes, they don't need any certificate course or something. But there are many certificate courses in the market which can give you real coaching or training. Like earlier, we used to do it essay writing in our class 1 to 5 kind of a thing. But if that we have that the knack of writing, so it's not BCom or BTech. Blog writing is not dependent upon any stream. And social media networking has given us many portals, like Dr. Shadma also said right now. It can be taken in a positive manner or a negative, where you are going to take it ahead. The followers or students have been equipped with a YouTube. So a BCom student can take up any course if he wants, or not also a course, just start writing. I, as a individual, I'll say that everybody present over here must have written when we were too young. Summer holiday homework was just a 1 day, 1 page writing, whatever we did, a diary writing, activity writing. You visited an historical place, you have to come and write down about it. So we are missing those things, but it has come on a digital platform. No matter what we were doing it at a diary, pages भरते रहते थे, कॉपियां खरीदनी पड़ती थी, पेन खत्म हो जाते थे. Summer holidays, we were at Nani house, but yes, before entering the school back, we were supposed to do that. The same thing is blog writing or digital marketing. What is digital marketing? Just expressing your views on a digital platform. But yes, this is happening and helping all the digital e-commerce business, because writing reviews or blogs and referral cases, referral marketings, these all helps directly or indirectly the manufacturers or the businessmen who were thinking how to do these things. Like many people, not to be quoted, but the areas where their shops were, they never thought of that it could be done like this. But now after this, forcefully it was done, because earlier they were used to that morning you get up 10, 11, I should not name interiors of the Chandni Chowk types in Delhi, and what we'll say wholesale dealers in Delhi, and they never used, never thought of even that it could happen on a digital platform. But this pandemic forcefully made them do go digital, have their own websites, then promote those websites, and our students, no matter it's in higher education or after class 8th or 9th, as our previous panelist has already shared, that they could mint money. They don't want to go back to the offices now, because they know that if they start doing this digital marketing, writing contents, they would be paid. Now a BTech student also, there are many options of content writing, internships in content writing. What is that? A digital marketing only, a platform, SEO engines, the keywords. They can just sit on the laptop and they can mint money, so they don't have to go for here and there. But I'll object over here, like Dr. Parveen said, that a country like India, a bigger population, they are dependent upon employment. They want employment, or else we are facing also a real downfall. No matter we are globalization, we are moving towards AI, robotics, and I really appreciate that our students also go abroad, our children go abroad, because yes, there are beautiful things happening and they get more opportunities, robotics, AI, but still a country like ours, there is a gap. And as in my introduction also, it was given that yes, I am working for the students in the slum area. So everybody is not well equipped with that digital world, where she is talking about a country or places where Wi-Fi is free. Everywhere you get Wi-Fi, and that is free of cost. Here we faced a problem in the pandemic that yes, the students sitting at home, ma'am, we cannot attend the class because our data is expired. So there is a major a drift, I can say, that what part of the city, or what part of people, whom are we addressing this problem to? No matter, yes, उन लोगों को भी यही कहा जाता है, मतलब last 5 years back, we were talking about the digital marketing. A first year student, after 6 months, just a first semester, he started getting 10,000 per month in our college only. No matter, he did not have to complete the course for that or something, but yes, digital marketing gave a platform, as well as he did not ask his parents for the further fees. He himself was capable enough to pay his fees. So this is really a boom too. But at the other end, everybody doesn't have a knack of writing. The industries are getting a boom. They are hiring these students for digital marketing. They're hiring these, and now so many companies are coming up with SEO engines, the keywords writing. But yes, this is the need of art, but everybody cannot do that. Over to you, Tarandeep.
Yeah, that's right, ma'am. At a very young age, we used to write our thoughts on diary or something. Now we can write it on social media, and we can earn a good amount of money also.
But
So,
Tarandeep,
yes,
इसमें एक और चीज है ना, like I tell you, now if anybody gives me to write on a pen, or a pencil, or a copy or something, it's very difficult for me to do that. I'll rather prefer a keyboard, and fatafat I'll be on the notes on my mobile. I'll do that in the seconds. Earlier we used to write capri typewriter ki speed kya hai. Now we are going to say like this. But this is something bad also. Everything has a pros and cons, ifs and buts. An extreme of everything is bad. I agree to it. We have to draw a line to it, but we have to accept. And it's rightly said that technology is not transforming. It's not we transforming the technology or we are changing. It's actually the technology transforming us. We have to be flexible. We have going according to the technology. So we have to accept it and move forward, because this is the need of art. It is not going away. We are going to be in a hybrid state. If you are like SEMS is conducting a platform like this and we are interacting on Zoom, but aren't we missing a cup of coffee together? Aren't we missing? Okay, the logistics are taken care of. People don't have to book an auditorium. You don't have to take care of the tea and a coffee. We can have our tea and coffee. Like I can tell you, we were conducting the whole sessions in the whole year. And what we used to do, we celebrated birthdays also like this. We celebrated all the conferences. The tea, coffee, you take care. And later on, when the things were going to berserk, so we started that everybody was delivered with a pizza at home so that you can just enjoy also. So we are cutting down to the cost, but we are missing that. So this will go hybrid. Like balance should be maintained, that we would definitely like to meet you people also in person so that we can interact. And as Dr. Praveen said, the eye contact. Have you ever thought like the compatibility is missing now, the flexibility is missing? And if we talk about the youth, not to be quoted, now the marriage is also not going to sustain just because of this. We don't share those platforms. We don't want to meet anybody. We are self-contented now. Sirf main and main is there now. What I want, and everything is there on the platform served with this technology. On the internet, everything is there. If it is coming in a positive manner, if we call about the senior citizens, ठीक है, उनको line में नहीं खड़ा होना पड़ता, जाके bank नहीं जाना पड़ता. But have you ever thought that that was something keeping them alive? They went out, they met people, do something here and there, talk to the driver, talk to the bankers, because बच्चों के पास तो time नहीं होता. If it is a positive note, the bachas are sending money, bachas are doing everything. But on the other angle, this digitalization is impacting their life, their normal living. So there is everything, as I said, negatives and positive, but we have to keep it with it. Yeah, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So my next question is to Ms. Yuvika, ma'am. So, ma'am, how to cope with digitization with the challenges of poor internet connections?
Okay, again, a very interesting question that in a country like India, where we all are facing the poor internet connection. See, again, this we have learned in these 2 last years during this COVID period, how to cope up with this poor internet connection. See, since I'm an academician, so I can share my experience with the academics only. When there is poor internet connection, we in India believe that there are different ways to cope up with. Yes, and one best one is the Jugaad technology, which we do not find anywhere except in India. Initially, what used to happen that during delivering of the lecture, the students were not having a poor internet connection, were not able to attend the classes properly. What happened? One day there was an issue. Second day, the student come out with the solution. They said that one student make a WhatsApp call and kept the phone near his or her device. The other student who had the poor connection was able to get the class attended with the help of that particular device. Then slowly and gradually what we did, we start sending the audio lectures to the student. We started recording the lectures. We sent them the lectures previously before delivering them, so that in case anybody is facing any problem, they can cope up with that. Then again, students came out with different ideas. There was a student who had a portable tripod with them. What they did, they simply put their mobile phone onto it and connected it again with the WhatsApp. WhatsApp was again, I would say, was a savior in that point of time, because Zoom and all takes lot of speed, requires lot of speed, lot of your internet connection, while this WhatsApp do not need so much. And everybody is not having the laptop or PC at that point of time, because that was an emergency situation. But these mobile phones were there with the students. If I talk about higher education, I'm not talking about the primary one. They really faced the problem, but the higher education did not face so much of problem, because these students already had the mobile phone and everybody was connected with the WhatsApp. So WhatsApp became the savior over there and helped the student going on with that particular connection. Now, to solve out these poor connection, we do not have any such device that could help us. We just need some, what I have told you, jugaad. If my connection is poor, I need to switch off my video. I can connect with you with and simple audio only. Yes, instead of Zoom, which is taking so much of speed, I can move on to some other platform, maybe make my meeting or something like that. That is again not using so much of speed. We can switch on to that, and that is how we can cope with this speed problem.
Yeah, right, ma'am. As we are India, so we always have a jugaad.
Yeah, this jugaad is we Indian only have that, others do not have. They are looking for the technology, and we are looking how we can cope up with the problems we are facing. I hope most of you are seeing different videos onto the FB and your WhatsApp, that every time they are coming out showing that they are using this particular platform, they are using this particular device to connect or something like that. People are teaching. I have seen videos, you must have also seen, that teachers are teaching sitting onto the tree branches so that they can
Yes,
get a
ma'am.
connection. Yes, so that is jugaad only, that when there is a will, there is a way, and we Indians believe onto that.
Yeah, I will mention something here.
Yeah.
Yuvika is very correct. This is a jugaad, and this is our local language. But if we see this in a different way, so this is innovation, in fact. Actually,
Yes,
we
sir.
are putting some
Definitely.
value addition to the existing processes, and these processes are going through this innovation process. And this is, you can say, our unawareness among us, or you can say we are not so much concerned that we are not going to patent to our these jugaad kind of process. Actually, when we were engineers at that time, we used to use a term called jugaad technology. कि कुछ भी करना है जुगाड़ टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है. एंड देयर यूज्ड टू बी दिस जुगाड़ टेक्नोलॉजी नॉट ओनली फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी, बट वी यूज्ड टू यूज दिस काइंड ऑफ इनोवेशन in our own life, in our daily life also. How to manage in hostel the queue of outside the bathroom and outside there are so many things, and people used to, because in other countries people get everything easily there. As such, there is no kind of struggle for them. And because as we are a most populous country now, going to be most populous country or second number of country in population, so this kind of jugaad we need at every stage. And sometimes these jugaad clicks and they prove into be innovation, and they become a product also. Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Vikaya.
It's rightly said, necessity is the mother of innovation. So
yes.
a country like India, when we have to bridge this gap and we have to deal with people, so our jugaad only turns out to be an innovation.
Yeah.
Ma'am, even other countries are also accepting this.
So
there is
And I will also mention here, this jugaad technology has become a universal word. This word has been taken by MIT, Oxford University, and they deliver a lecture on this jugaad technology. Okay, so this is something on which we should have to be pride, and we should not have shy away भाई हमने जुगाड़ कर दिया और उसमें हमें शर्म आए कि हमने कुछ चोरी कर लिया, कुछ टेढ़ा मेढ़ा काम कर दिया. तो this is a kind of innovation, always value addition.
Yes, and this is actually shows that how good we are at managing things. If we are somehow, at times we have certain resources, at times we are not having certain resources, at times we have resources, but the resources doesn't work. So it is actually shows our capability and managerial skills that how we are able to handle the situation.
Praveen ji, I will mention here that this, I will mention that this kind of situation or this kind of jugaad only comes because of scarcity.
Yeah.
If you are finding everything in abundance or in no hassles and no problem, without any problem, so then your mind will not work in that direction. As Yuvika mentioned that because of this internet problem, teachers started giving lectures beforehand. If suppose some student has problem of internet connectivity, so at least he has a pre-written tutorial with that student. So this is also kind of you can say jugaad, and this jugaad happens because of the unavailability of this internet services.
Yes, we face problems and then only we grow actually. Every time this is actually, we are optimizing the process, the way we are doing things. And it happens with everyone. True.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So now moving forward. So my another question is to Dr. Rajneesh, sir. So, sir, what is the digitization role in human resource management? Actually, you are mute.
No, what I am asking that there was some problem.
Sir, your mic is on mute.
No. Now I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is your question? Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, sir, sure. So my question is, sir, what roles digitization plays in human resource management?
Okay. As we are talking and listening here, that digitization, or I will say, I will use the word digitalization more than digitization. Okay. So this digitalization now has a role in every walk of your life. Okay. Then we cannot say that human resource management cannot have a role of this digitalization, but I will say that because of this digitalization, human resource management can be managed more effectively and more efficiently. So digitization of human resource processes through HRM or human resource management is always planned to take a lead role in the company's digital transformation, you can say, and defining the digital employee experience. Earlier, we used to maintain everything in big files and in big registers. And now everything of a human resource is available on a single click. And that is also advantageous in this manner that earlier, suppose we need something from the office and then we will have to wait for a working day, then somebody will get a copy of that. And now if suppose we are connected with our HRM, our human resource management system, and then through that system we can get that copy at any time, not all kind of copies, but usually the copies or the details or information related to our personal details can be extracted immediately at anywhere. Okay, and if we have the printing facility there, we can take the print and we can produce that kind of this thing. So this is the one thing which human resource management system has provided the employee. And on the other side, we can say that this digitalization has revolutionized this human resource management with the help of cutting-edge information systems. Now we have so many information management systems through which we manage a number of informations related to our human resource management, and those systems are providing all kind of you can say very efficient kind of this technique to get or to consolidate all kind of information databases of the human. And this human system is designed for a successful digital HR transformation process always. And its purpose is solving not only the problem of the HR department, but also of the employees also. And from, if you can see this human resource system, you can see this since beginning of the office till end of the office, and beyond that also. When you enter in the office, there is an attendance system, or you can say biometric attendance system. You are just putting your fingers or something, other biometric kind of parameters, and that is directly going into your information system. And from there, the management is extracting your information about you, and there are so many other things. So it starts from the step when you step in the office, and it will not finish when you step out from the office. It works even after you leave the office. And and I'm not going to elaborate on all the aspects of this human resource management, but obviously digitalization has a very important or key role in this particular HRM system, and as in other fields also. Over to Tarandeep.
Yeah. Yes, sir, very true. It all comes on a single tape. So moving forward, so my next question is to Dr. Sharma ma'am. So ma'am, the question is how to cope up with this new kind of challenges without so much stress on the teacher.
Okay, so when we talk about these kind of challenges, first thing is that how prepared we were. Okay, whenever there is any challenge, how prepared we are, because any change is going to impact us. And being a teacher, right, being a teacher, we have bigger responsibilities on our shoulders. So we have to cope up with the change. We have to first accept the change, as rightly said by Dr. Puri, that the initial step, the first step is to change or to undergo any particular change, is to accept that the things have changed, and now we have to change accordingly, or we have to adapt ourselves accordingly. So being a teacher, definitely it has been a very tough time for teachers, specifically for those sectors, specifically for those areas. If I talk about not only about the metropolitan cities, but there are other areas, rural areas specifically, where they have felt that tremendous pressure of doing justice to their work that they are doing justice to the job that they are doing, because of so many adversities around and so many changes that actually happen. So it is, no doubt, it is very stressful. It has been very stressful, and I really appreciate the way teachers actually, they came up with different kind of strategies, different kind of tactics to handle the problems. Because whenever we are undergoing any change, there are always teething troubles, right? Even if you undergo a very small kind of thing right now, yesterday I was in a training program here, and there it was like I have to take face-to-face training and online training simultaneously. So there were few who were connected through Zoom in the same session, right? They are looking at watching the video, and I was connecting with them also, and there are a couple of people who are there face-to-face. So that time, initially it was a problem, because you know what, the pace that you are maintaining when talking to people face to face, and the pace, the pitch you have to maintain when you are talking to people over internet, because it takes time for the information, for the voice to get transferred, right? So otherwise, there will be connectivity problem, there will be pitch modulation problem, they will not be able to understand, they will not be able to hear. So these kind of changes actually create pressure on the teacher. They create pressure on the teacher, but it is up to us how we actually devise some strategies to handle. Same happened with the education industry when this particular change happened, that all the schools from one fine day are being shut. Irrespective of the grades, irrespective of the subject, irrespective of the streams, everything has been shut, and now everything has to be online. So it was a pressure for the students. It was also a tremendous pressure on the faculty members, also on the teachers also. So whenever we are in such a phase, in such a situation, this was one of the examples that we faced. But being a teacher, we face many changes, when many situations when we are stressed, or when we actually struggle, depending upon the kind of students we have, depending upon the kind of subject we have to teach, depending upon the audience, depending upon the situation and the context. So first thing first is that we first of all have to be prepared. We should be confident and we should be prepared to teach. We should be confident about our subject. We should be confident about our content. The second thing is, whatever the change requires in order to do our job, we should be able to accept that, and we should be open to learn that. We should not be afraid. I know many people, many teachers who don't even use laptops during the class. They use the transparencies, right, the slides, or they use mainly, if you talk about people from mathematics and teachers from mathematics, they use board and chalk, they use board and marker rather than using PPTs for teaching. So it was a challenge, but again, it is up to us how we use different sources, how we use different devices. So we have alternatives always available. Whenever we are stuck in such a situation, instead of getting stressed, we need to find out the way out. That is very important. That instead of focusing on the problems, we should focus more on solutions. It is equally good for teachers. It is equally good for anyone else. Then the teachers, they have to devise different strategies for teaching, which they have been doing, and they are doing absolutely wonderfully. Like, for example, eye contact with your students. When you are addressing a number of students in the class, you are able to approach them, you are able to go to near to them, you are able to connect properly with them. So the kind of problems that teachers faced initially was how to address the students when you are not able to see them, right? Most of the time, because of the bandwidth, because of the data, because of the number of students log in at the same time on a particular application or portal, it is not possible that everyone switch on the camera. It's not possible for the teacher to have a look at everyone what they are doing. So establishing that connect was something that created stress to the teachers, that how to keep them engaged during online sessions. They completely have to have different strategies to, apart from the content. Yes, content is one of the things, but apart from the content, just grabbing the attention of the students, you have to devise different strategies and different way out, basically, to grab the attention of the students, and to make sure what they are listening, they are also learning. So the evaluation methods have been changed. So now the exams are also on Google Forms or other applications like ExamNet or something. There are so many other applications also on which, first the teacher has to be well versed with that. They have to understand how exactly it works. There are many institutes, many universities, they have devised their own learning management system, which is again varies from institute to institute, from university to university. So it is actually a task for the teacher also to understand whatever is there, and how exactly is going to function, how to issue the assignments, how the students will write, how to make sure that they are not cheating, they are not yeah, they are not doing any kind of copy paste kind of thing during the exam. So it was a big challenge, it's a big stress. So the first thing is that accept, have confidence in you, have confidence in the system as well, because system is always supporting teachers. When we talk about academics, is the system, I have always seen the system has always be supportive to the teacher. And prepare yourself, but do not think that from the first day or from the first time that change has happened, we are going to excel. Every day we are learning. So we should be open to that learning. We should be open to those experimentation. We should be open to those failures and learning from the failures. Sometimes things go well, sometimes things doesn't work, but every time we as teacher also we are learning. So that is actually how we have to cope up with the stress or any changes that is coming up, because we have to make sure if we are unsure about something, our students will be more unsure. If we are doubtful, if we are not confident, they will lose the confidence as well. So we have to have a very good role and responsibility in that terms, that we have to build up that confidence in the students. Yes, together we will do it. And they have done it. We have done it as teachers. We have done it, and students, they have not missed out their academic year. But again, here also there are certain challenges which is actually beyond the scope or of the teachers also. For example, these kind of things, as rightly said by Dr. Rajneesh sir and Dr. Gulati Puri, that these kind of things can work only when we have resources. The first thing is to have resources. If we are struggling with the resources, we cannot do anything. Even if we want to do it, we cannot do anything. So same kind of things we have seen in rural areas. Not only India, in many countries, we have seen that how exactly this thing has actually impacted badly the education sector in the rural areas. Teachers they wanted to do. I have seen videos when teacher was going from one student to the other student to teach. That is the zeal that they have as a teacher. But that is also true that not every teacher can do it. Even if they want, they cannot do it. So that scarcity of resources is something that is actually their struggle. Otherwise, and that actually creates stress also and pressure also, because sometimes if we want to do something but we cannot do because of any xyz reason, that is very frustrating and very devastating for ourselves also. So we can say that yes, it depends upon so many factors, but the thing is that whatever resources we have, we should be able to do justice with our job and do best with it. That is it. Over to you, Kiran.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I would like to call Vanna to take forward from here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarandeep. Thank you so much, ma'am. This is very enlightening. Okay, ma'am, there is a like instant question from our live audience. This is for all. That is, what are the main constraints in the term of adaptation to new technology? So this is like one last and instant question from our live audience. So this is for all actually.
Ishika.
In adapt.
Okay, okay. Yes, Rajneesh ji, please continue. No problems.
No, I am just telling ki there is a always one rule, and that rule is called Newton's first law, and it is called resistance against any change. Okay, so the first problem is in an adaptation of any technology is that we always resist changes because we feel whatever we are doing, so we do not want to disturb our comfortable kind of state or position, or I will say in Newton's term or Galileo terms, that we want to remain into the same kind of state. So this is the first thing which we always in the beginning oppose largely, or you can say majority people oppose any change. Okay, this is the first thing, first problem in adaptation of the technology. Second, it is always when some new technology comes over, as you people can understand that in late 90s or early 2000, this thing, we were talking about the digital divide. Okay, and at that time, this were being foreseen that if India implements all this digital system in place, then there will be a huge gap between digitally literate people and digitally illiterate people. And then government launched many schemes, then along with the private sector, as well as the private sector came forward and they launched many schemes. But what happened, government has, and even UN, United Nations, and I attended many conferences, WSIS conferences in abroad with regard to this digital divide. And they made some target that by, now I'm not able to remember that target, but that target is yet to come. By that time we will achieve this, we will fill this digital divide by providing good kind of digital devices. Then we will make people digitally literate. Then what happened? Then technology has taken so fast development that within a few years, nobody wants any digital device because everybody has a mobile phone. And at that time, people were talking that in $100 we will provide laptop or this iPad. Sorry, this you can what you call computing devices to the people. And but now this mobile has replaced everything. Now this mobile in itself has become able to provide you all kind of devices, whether it is a rough notebook, or it is a camera, or it is a music instrument, whatever it is, in whatever form, mobile is providing you everything. So that's why I'm telling you that there is always a kind of resistance, a kind of fear that some people have this kind of resistance. We do not want to change ourselves. And some people, basically, who are the policy makers and those kind of people, they have that kind of fear how our population will cope up with this change. And for this change, we will have to bring this kind of changes, this kind of enablement in our society. But the technology takes its place and they fill the gap its own. And that I have just given the example of this mobile phone. This is from my side.
If you allow me, Ishika, I want to answer your question in a very sweet manner. It's nothing dealing with technology or anything at all. It takes its own time. You must have read when you were young in bio that butterfly, to be born, it takes its own time in the cocoon. The cocoon has to work in itself, and utne period ke liye the exertion of that pressure, that it has to come from itself, then only it turns out to be a butterfly. And if outside resources hamper them or not try to break the cocoon ki butterfly jaldi ban jaye, it hampers and it is dead. So take the things as it comes, accept them, adapt them. And it's not only technology. Agar technology nahi chahiye, please leave it. Digitalization nahi chahiye, leave it. It's a beautiful line also, like a young student like yours, the youth, you are all into relationships, infatuation, crushes. It's a beautiful line by a great writer. It said that प्यार का पहला खत लिखने में वक्त लगता है और नए परिंदों को उड़ने में वक्त लगता है. So please don't force yourself, adapt it, take it. It's a normal course also. Your parent says जाते वक्त अपने कॉलेज जा रहे हो, जाते वक्त ये ड्रॉप करते जाना या ये बैंक का. The first thing will be क्या, why are you spoiling my routine? I'm not going to do it. It's a no. But later on, dhire dhire, you get adaptable, you understand that, and you do it also. So it should come from inside. It is not digitalization, it's forced. I agree. When into education also, as everybody's already discussed, but take your time, give yourself some time, because it's just the start of your career, start of your future. There will be many things. Pandemic has come into a push everybody to digitalization, and everywhere we are talking about this. But slow and steady, we will all reach that certain, we'll attain that or achieve our success, our goals. But come forward with an open arms. No matter it's digitalization, it's like technology, it's life, it's career. Accept the things, come out with open arms. The sky is the limit for you. That's it from my side.
Very well said, ma'am. And I have a short message for all of you that this session was really helpful. I want to turn on my camera, but I think the host is not allowing me. I request host to please let me turn on my camera.
No, Ishika, we saw you once. You were on, we saw you. We saw you once.
Okay, okay. Okay, so my name is Ishika Rai. I am a mass media student. I also have a YouTube channel. You may search Ishika Rai on YouTube and watch my videos. So I have a short message for all of you. You all were such a good personalities. Mona ma'am, Shadma ma'am, Rajneesh sir, Yuvika ma'am, Dr. Bhaveen ma'am, and all of you are like just great. Like listening to your opinions is really very time consuming thing. Most of the time in this pandemic, I think I have attended hundreds of online events, and most of them are so boring and like it's like what to do yaar, kahan fas gaye. But some of the online events are really helpful, that we get to know about so many things, we get a chance to meet new personalities, and it's really helpful this time. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your views and opinions.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Ishika.
much,
Thank you,
Ishika,
Ishika,
for
for
this
your
wonderful feedback.
Ishika,
In
as
fact,
you are a YouTuber, I hope you are not into anything. You are all into constructive. As Shadma ma'am have already shared that no matter pandemic has given you an opportunity to be a YouTuber or express your views in digital platform. Hope you are into a constructive mode and you
Yes,
can take care of everything, and all the best for your life and your career.
thank you so much, ma'am.
And
Thank you so
one
much,
one
Ishika,
thing,
for this.
one
Yeah.
small thing, Ishika, I just want to add to the last question that was from the audience. Just one small thing. Whenever we are talking about any restrictions that we face in within ourselves or within around us for any change, we just need to have one few thumb rules, right? The first thing is you accept that something has changed. The sooner you do that, the better it will be for you. Second thing is do not just run behind change. Researches, give time to yourself to understand what exactly it is and how it can be relevant to you, whether it is beneficial for you or not. For any change, forget about technology. Even if you are going for a job switch, you are going to change your house, right? You're going to change your school. Even if you're just discarding something and buying a new laptop, discarding the old laptop and buying a new laptop or a mobile, there are two types of forces always you will experience. One are the promoting forces, which will tell you go for it, go for it, go for it, right? And one will be the restraining forces, restricting forces, which will tell you don't go, don't go, don't go. So what you have to do is calmly, logically analyze both the forces and then decide which one is stronger. If the restricting forces is stronger, don't go for it. Give some more time to yourself. If the promoting forces are stronger, go for it, but with progression. Whenever we resist for certain changes, it is because of the insecurity that is just developing, it is generating in our mind, in our thoughts, or it may be some kind of fear. So address that. Give yourself some time and address that. What exactly is the reason of this resistance? And at times, what we see as an option is actually not an option. I'll just give you a very small example. When we talk about analytics, in my previous session with one of the universities with MBA students, 2 weeks back, there was one student who asked me one question. He asked me, okay, ma'am, I am very much into HR. I love interacting with people. I'm a very people oriented kind of person. And I think I will go and do well in HR. But analytics is something which is coming up. Everyone is talking about analytics. Everyone is talking about data. So what should I do? Should I leave HR and go into analytics? Or should I leave analytics and continue in HR? I'm not able to decide. I said, why you are taking it as two different options? Sometimes the two ways, the two paths which seems to us that they are too different, somewhere they are colliding. Why not to have analytics into HR?
Oh,
Once
yes,
we are
ma'am.
once we are having data, once we are having digitalization in HR, can't we think of analytics in HR? Can't we think of AI in HR? So
Oh,
sometimes
yes,
what
ma'am.
is apparent to you is not the reality. You have to go deep and try to understand that. Then only you can make informed decisions and you can actually go with the change with full enthusiasm.
Yeah, thank
So
you
this
so
is what
much,
I
ma'am, for
Yes,
this.
ma'am. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I
Okay.
completely agree with you. Because
Okay. So,
journey of my
okay.
life,
So now
some of
moving. Okay, Ishika, please, could you please wait for some time? Yeah. So now moving ahead to the closing. So I would request all the speakers to give some closing remarks. So should we start with Bhavleen, ma'am?
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Ma'am, your mic is on mute.
So thanks, Vandana, for starting with me. Like I discussed, I have another online event at
Yes,
7:15 and
ma'am.
the login time is 7:05. I have just 3 minutes, okay? So it was very nice interacting with all of you. And Ishika, I'm really, really impressed for your courage to have been able to speak up your thoughts and share about your YouTube channel here. Like I teach MBA students, who are more or less your age, and it's very heartening to see all of them having some or the other social media platform, YouTube, Instagram, etc., which is really doing wonders for them. I will definitely check your channel and also will give you a feedback on that. Couple of observations, before I leave, that I want to share is, like, the title was how has digitization changed the life. Okay, so like, for example, I come from academic background as an MBA professor, plus a corporate trainer, like Vandana had already discussed in my introduction.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
my only thing is that, since we were talking about, how digitization has changed the life, it would have been really great, if we would have had also options and opinions, talking about different walks of life, like as a consumer, as a brand, as a digital marketing agency, because most of the points which I think here, because probably because all of us are academicians sitting here except for Rajneesh sir, but most of the points were teacher, student, teacher, student, teacher, student, which obviously is very important. It's very important for me also because I'm a teacher myself. But then, because we mentioned life, and there are a lot of other roles. As a mother, how has digitization changed for me and for all of you? As a father, as a parent, as a friend, as friends, haven't we changed? The birthday parties are happening on Zoom, right? So that is one thing. I think a lot of variety could have been brought into the discussion, though it was an incredible discussion. Number two, and my last point is, I saw everybody being very overwhelmed with the word jugaad, which is also a great thing. And we also teach jugaad as part of hardcore MBA modules. But we are not understanding two different types of jugaad. If a jugaad, as an Indian, we have a capability to do, if we are doing it to reduce the wastage of resources, or to make the process leaner, I will be very proud of that jugaad, that because of this Indian jugaad, now the usage of resources have come down by 40%, or the pollution has reduced, or the process has become leaner, or more people are getting employment. It's very good. But if I am doing a jugaad because, in spite of paying taxes, I do not have the resources which I should have, I have a right to those resources, and I'm feeling very proud of that jugaad, I am very sorry, somewhere I am misunderstanding my role in the society and how the society has failed me. Talking about, a teacher sitting under a tree and taking a class, or a child calling up his friend keeping, like Yuvika has mentioned this, keeping the phone close to the laptop so that the other student can catch signals. If these are the jugaads to be very proud of, I think we are somewhere in the wrong directions. This is sheer, like, we do say necessity is the mother of invention, but is this actually invention, or this is a pity for ourselves that, we are discussing here, as experts in our various fields, talking about a topic like how digitization has changed a life, and still feeling proud about examples, a teacher taking a class under a tree and a student keeping a phone next to the laptop to catch signals. So jugaad, definitely, if
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So
Ma'am,
thank you
I
very
would
much.
Thank you so
sorry
much,
to
ma'am,
Thank
for
you,
this
everybody.
wonderful
Thank you.
session and being here with us. Yeah, thank you so much,
We
ma'am,
very,
for
very,
being with
very
us,
nice
ma'am, and
knowing
for
all of you,
sharing this
and I
wonderful
shall
knowledge.
catch up with all of you on Facebook or somewhere. Thank you very much, Vandana. It was a great session, very well organized by
Thank you
Vandana,
so
Ritu,
much,
and
ma'am.
Tarandeep. See you guys. Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am. We would love
Thank
to. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Okay. Thank you so
ma'am
much,
has
ma'am. Yeah.
left, Vandana, but I would like to add on to it. Maybe she her perception was different and my perception was different. The jugaad used over here was to meet out with the resources, scarcity of resources,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
which we are facing, our students and the teachers are facing, because we were not ready for the pandemic. And instead of suffering from it and letting our students suffer from it, we came out with different innovative ideas. The right word which was being given by the sir, that it is a kind of innovation, and this jugaad technology is really being taught so that we can fight with the scarcity. It is not that we are only talking about saving the resources. No, it is talking about how to work in the environment when you do not have the sufficient resources. Yes, should I continue with this conclusion part, or somebody else will be called upon?
Yeah, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay, see, when I talk about the session was very nicely been arranged, and we had a very nice discussion, very good discussion onto that. But yes, we should have talked something about related to the businesses also, how the businesses were able to fight in this particular time period. But I can say that digitalization has helped each one of us to grow. It is not only that we have the pros of it, we have the cons of it, as said by the other speakers. But when we were discussing, we were talking about that elders are facing the problem. There is more loneliness, but there is other view also. Initially, when the elders, their parents whose kids are into abroad, they were not able to talk to them. Now they are very user friendly. They can do the video call with them, and they can get the feel that they are being connected with their kids. So technology has helped them out. Technology has made our things more convenient, more faster, more easy. During this pandemic time, we have seen that everything was very difficult, but because of this technology, we were just one click away, and each of our necessity thing, whether it was related to grocery, whether it was your vegetable, whether it was a purchase of a laptop or home office furniture, whatever it is, it was being delivered to us at our home. The companies improved themselves. They came out with the concept of no contact policy, that they are going to deliver your product to your place without any contact. The delivery were being made more easy. Now most of the companies are providing their product to their customers at their doorstep without any delivery charges. That is again one advantage which we have seen during this pandemic period. People who were not very friendly with the technology, they also adopted it, as been said by one of the student who asked the query. Yes, the adoption rate was high. Now again, when I talk about adoption rate, that was very high into the millennials. Why? Because they are the one who accept the things by observing others. My friend is using Insta, I also want to go on to the Insta. Now there are again advantages and disadvantages. Insta has helped out lot many people during this pandemic period in promoting their businesses, and especially the ladies, the people who were who lost their job at this point of time, started doing small businesses, and they promoted it onto the Insta, and they were able to get their earnings and lead out their livelihood. So that's from my end. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak onto this portal. Thanks a lot. And it was
Thank you
wonderful
so
hearing
much,
all the
ma'am.
speakers.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much,
Thank you so
ma'am, for this wonderful session and sharing your knowledge with us, ma'am. Okay, so Sadhna ma'am, could you would you like to say something?
Sure, sure. It will be an honor for me. So
Yeah.
thank you for the organizing team and SEMS for this. And thank you to all the panel members. It was really a wonderful 1.5 hours spent together, talking, interacting, listening to each other, and learning basically from each other. It was really nice, and I really appreciate for such a platform to be created and such a thing to be, thought of and executed. So very well conducted, very well organized, and very well presented. Everyone has very well presented their views and opinions and thoughts. So it was a real value addition to me as well. And as far as the topic is there, I believe that in any topic, not only digitalization, but any topic, there can be different perspectives. Always there will be different perspectives. There is different relevance of different topics in different industries to different people. So since we have tried to address most of the questions that we have received from the registered participants, right? So I think we have done justice, because ultimately what we are supposed to do here, to talk what, or to tell what exactly our viewers, our audience want to listen or want to hear, or what exactly the kind of inputs they were expecting from us. So I think that I believe that we have done justice with that. And definitely
Yes, ma'am.
there can be a possibility of talking about digitalization in length, definitely, for in regards to corporate and how organizations are doing. But for that, we need to plan it that way. Everything could not be summed up in 1.5 hours. So I
Yeah,
really
yes,
enjoyed this
ma'am,
session a
definitely.
lot, and thank you so much. And it will be really good to be connected with you people, and anyone, like I also want to tell you that I also recently started my own YouTube channel where I talk about HR related topics. I talk about things that students can implement, how different HR things are coming up, how different like these days I'm just uh, promote this launching one of my series on stress, basically on stress, how exactly a code stress is there. So how exactly each and every element, what does it stands for, and how it, what we can do in our day-to-day life, apart from meditation, apart from yoga, apart from spirituality, that we need to do for stress, what small changes we need to do and bring in day-to-day life, that we can manage our things properly, and the stress could be released and relieved. So anytime, you people are most welcome to have a look at it. It's by
Thank you
my
so
name,
much,
Dr.
ma'am.
Shadma Parveen. So I would be very happy to have your feedback over there. And I'm there on LinkedIn also. I'm very active on LinkedIn, less active on Facebook, more on LinkedIn. So it will be a pleasure to be connected with you all over there. You can search my profile and you can get connected with me. I'm there also with the same name, Dr. Shadma Parveen. And it is really a wonderful session. I really enjoyed it a lot. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
We
much for
really
inviting.
enjoyed this.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you
We
so
will
much, ma'am.
definitely connect with you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We will definitely look after it. Like we will definitely love if in upcoming days, like we have another session with you. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Sure, sure. Most
Ma'am,
Thank you,
please
ma'am.
share the link of your YouTube. I will love to see that because I'm very interested in HR.
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Same here.
Please.
Okay. So just give me a moment.
Yeah.
I'll share the link on the chat box. Just give me a moment.
Okay. Okay. So now I would request Mona, ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to say something?
First of all, I would like to thank you all for inviting was for such a beautiful session. And as everybody has already shared, yes, the topic was also very beautiful. We tried to cover everything. And as you must be knowing that there are two different things what I'm handling. One is the Sumit Foundation, in which I am teaching and interacting with the slum area students for career counseling and English communication and all. And the other part is United Institute of like United Group of Institutions. So in this digitalization, whatever, I can see the other angle where the students cannot connect online, and the slum area students, we faced really problems. And the other part, the students, yes, there was Wi-Fi. So there's always two angles, pros and cons, ifs and buts. हर सिक्के के दो पहलू. It all depends where how you want to see. अगर आपने 6 देखना, आप 6 देखोगे. अगर मैंने 9 देखना, मैं 9 दिखा रही हूँ. The communication is incomplete because the perception is not the way what I wanted to do. But if you have already in your mindset that आपने नहीं करना, आपने 6 ही देखना है, तो मैं जितना मर्जी आपको 9 दिखाऊंगी, आप 6 नहीं देखोगे. So whosoever is listening to this session of a wonderful speakers, wonderful panelists, wonderful organizers and youth organizers, young organizers, those who have that zeal to do something in life, I just have a single message: look everything in a positive manner, perceive everything in a positive manner, because there is every time there is light at the end of the tunnel. Life is not that bad. Life is not that ugly. It is how you look into it. चाहे वो digitalization in life की बात हो रही थी, हर angle में, हर vertical में, just accept it and with a smile move forward. Accept the digitalization, accept the changes, accept everything. अगर कोई दूसरा friend इंस्टा कर रहा है, आप तो अभी तक फेसबुक कर रहे थे ना, आपने क्यों इंस्टा पे आए? लाइक अभी हम लिंक्डइन पे आ रहे हैं, व्हाई? बिकॉज अब हमें अपना करियर चूज करना है. सो उसमें आपको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट यस अदर चीजें जिसमें आपको प्रॉब्लम है, आप ना चाहते हो वो भी प्रॉब्लम देखते हो. So it's all in your mind. Please, all the listeners, take it in a positive manner, no matter whatever it is in your life. And just as you must have seen also, I would like to end it that in a positive note, that हम बदल रहे हैं खुद को. Like हम बदल रहे हैं खुद को नई आशाओं के साथ. हमारे साथ है डिजिटलाइजेशन का मजबूत आधार. कोरोना के अंधकार में हमने खुद को मजबूत किया है. एक कदम हर दिन आगे बढ़ाया है. हम बढ़ते रहेंगे हमेशा इसकी ओर. तिमिर को चीर कर, if you don't understand what is timir, timir is अंधकार. As I said, अंधकार, that's light at the end of the tunnel. तिमिर को चीर कर उजालों की ओर हमें सबका साथ मिलेगा. काफिला निरंतर चलता रहेगा. And with this note, I really sign off and thank you very much. SEMS Foundation, Atul, you had played a very vital role. You are really a spark, and the way you are handling these things, the youth together, it's really a very sweet feeling. Sitting with you all, pata bhi nahi chala that we had 1.5 years, hours or more than that. And the topic is so vast, we can talk and discuss. And it will be beautiful, as one of the speaker audience said, ki it's such a vibrant issue. We have touched, the panel speakers have touched everything at the hardcore ground root level. Nothing superficial. That's why it's touching the heart of the audience. It was really nice meeting the speakers also. And thank you for having me on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Now I would request Tarandeep to take over.
Sure. Thank you so much, speaker. Now, on behalf of everyone, I would like to thank our honorable speakers, Dr. Rajneesh sir, Miss Yuvika ma'am, Dr. Bhavleen ma'am, Dr. Professor Mona Gulati ma'am, and Dr. Shagma ma'am for giving your precious time and share your knowledge with us on the very important topic of digitization. So your comments on how digitization changed the life are positively affected, and we as a volunteer contribute our time is certainly inspirational. So, and we thank you for what you do for others in our society as well. So once again, on behalf of SEMS Group, thank you our honorable speakers and all the participants for joining. I request all the participants to please fill the feedback form, then you all will get the certificates in next 24 hours. So good night, everyone, and take care of your very good self. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and give their precious time to us.
And all the
Thank you
best
so
for
much,
your
ma'am.
future act.
Okay,
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
All
ma'am.
the very best to
Sadhana,
all the
ma'am. Thank you,
wonderful
Mona, ma'am.
audience.
Future aspects.
And
Future.
anytime you people can connect with us, the audience, the students, whosoever is part of this show, anytime feel free to connect with us. We are here to help you from our own experiences, from our own knowledge, whatever we have.
No,
Thank
actually,
you so much,
we would
ma'am.
be having more sessions with you, ma'am. Soon.
Sure. And
Especially
someone was
Mona,
asking
Mona
about
ma'am
the
also,
YouTube
and Shada
link,
ma'am,
so I'm-
Yuvika ma'am.
Sure. Anytime.
We are very much there on to LinkedIn. You can connect anytime. And now
Yes.
you have our phone numbers
And
also.
in fact, we will try
Yes, ma'am.
to steal some of your time in future also.
Yeah,
Atul,
sure,
you have
sure.
a great
Anytime.
team. Congratulations. You have a great team. have
Thank you
built
very
a
much, ma'am.
beautiful team.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
once
Thank you
again.
so much.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone,
Have a
for
great
being here. I would request every participant to fill the feedback form so that they can receive the e-certificate in next 24 hours. And thank you so much everyone for being here.
Someone
Good
was
night,
asking for
everyone. Take care.
the YouTube link of mine, Shadma.
Yes,
So I
yes,
have
ma'am.
just
I have
posted.
asked. Yes, ma'am. I have
Wow.
subscribed the channel and I will connect with you in LinkedIn also.
Sure, sure. Anytime, dear.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Most welcome. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Good
Thank you, ma'am.
night.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Yeah.